One of the most closely watched congressional races in the country this fall will be in Minnesota's 1st Congressional District. It's a swing district that has been won in alternating years by Republicans and Democrats. This year, the incumbent Republican, Representative Jim Hagedorn, a Republican, is running for re-election despite recently announcing he has stage 4 kidney cancer. Last month, Hagedorn announced he'd been battling cancer for a year. Jim Hagedorn's wife is Jennifer Carnahan, the GOP party chair. She's the one who's been coordinating Republican election strategy in Minnesota, including working with President Trump in the White House. President Trump, of course, has said repeatedly he hopes to win Minnesota this fall. Joining us right now, GOP Chair Jennifer Carnahan and Congressman Jim Hagedorn. Thank you so much both for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Let me ask you first, Congressman Hagedorn, how are you feeling? I mean, you look really well.
Well, I feel great. I mean, I've been in treatment for a year at the Mayo Clinic. My doctors, technicians, nurses, everyone, just terrific folks. And I've been on an immunotherapy for the same amount of time, which is helping my body identify the cancer and kill it. The response has been terrific. I feel great. I haven't missed any work over it. In fact, much to the chagrin of the liberals, I haven't missed a vote due to illness.
Okay.
So there you go.
Well, let me ask you, you see him when the rest of us don't. I mean, how has he been, holding up?
He's been doing very well. I'm impressed and inspired by how strong he's been and how committed he is to his job and fighting for the people of the 1st District and going out to Washington, D.C., every week for votes and then coming back and working on the weekends. And it just, when you're going through battling a difficult disease like this, it is challenging, but Jim's been so strong through it all.
Okay. Let me ask you, Congressman Hagedorn, you announced this a year after you were diagnosed.
Sure.
Was that fair to the people of the 1st Congressional District? Do you think you should have announced it earlier? And will you pledge to give regular updates on your health throughout, the campaign, and as well as if you win another term?
Oh, of course. I'm happy to give regular updates. And then on top of that, I had a year's worth of data. So I showed that the treatments were going well. The cancer was totally in remission, moving that direction. That I had a year's worth of data showing that I didn't miss any work. I went back and forth to Washington 39 times, made hundreds of stops across the district, 21 town halls. And then it was right before campaign season, precinct caucus. I said, well, that's kind of the perfect time to let everybody know. And then we just move forward through the election.
Okay. You're not unlike many other couples in Minnesota who are facing this kind of a battle, whether they're working inside the home with young children or working outside the home. What is the biggest surprise from your perspective? And then I'll ask the same question of you.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we found out the news, it was very shocking, and it's not something you expect to find out 2 months after you get married.
And you had just gotten married.
We had just been married, or at any time in your life. So that certainly was surprising, and it's not something that we were expecting. But the biggest thing is trying to spend time together, trying to support one another in our jobs, trying to stay strong as a couple and stay committed to what we care about the country and Minnesota.
And how about you? What's it been like? I mean, a lot of other people face this as well who are also very busy.
I think that's important to remember. Millions of Americans have been told they have cancer, and hopefully this is an example that sometimes you can have a type of cancer, be treated, live relatively normal life, and have a hope for a bright future. So, I think things are changing. This is a game changer, the type of treatments that I'm on, this immunotherapy. I joke that I say it's, you don't lose your hair with this type of cancer. Some people probably can't tell the difference, but I think there's a lot of hope out there. And these immunotherapies, these biopharmaceutical cures, we have to make sure that we never deter that for the American people, because in the future, we have to do everything we can to give people hope.
Okay. Congressman or Governor Tim Walz held your district for 12 years before he decided to run for election for governor. You won by less than 1,500 votes.
Sure.
You're a strong supporter of President Trump's. Do you think that this will be a referendum in the 1st Congressional District, your race, on President Trump?
Well, I think it's a referendum on President Trump and the Republican policies that help bring the country back, to make sure that we have a strong defense, that we're projecting U.S. values around the world, that we're securing our borders. We have a strong economy led by reforms in government and regulations, taxes, and energy independence, and then we're protecting the basic rights, the right to life, the right to keep and bear arms, and the right to religious freedom. What a lot of people forget is in our district, I was one of only 2 in the United States Republicans to take back a Democrat seat in a Democrat wave election. The other was Pete Stauber, our friend up in northern Minnesota.
Minnesota is very unusual. These swing states don't exist in most places.
People forget we way overperformed in the last election. And with President Trump on top of the ticket
Yeah.
and on down good Republicans, I think it's going to be a clear contrast election. We're going to have a very nice result.
What about the farmers? Because some Minnesota farmers have been hit hard by the tariffs that the president has imposed.
A little bit of a misnomer. A lot of the farmers realized that we had to do something about China long ago. It shouldn't have taken President Trump to get the job done. It should have been President Obama or President Bush. And the farmers, I was just with them at Minnesota Ag Conference here 3 weeks ago in Mankato, and their optimism is high. They think that the trade deal, especially with the United States, Mexico, Canada, which I supported, USMCA, is paving the way for other deals, and they're optimistic.
Will the GOP overperform again? To a certain extent, he is correct, and certainly President Trump almost carried the state 4 years ago. Will he carry it in 2020?
We're very optimistic that the president can win Minnesota's 10 electoral votes on November 3rd. The enthusiasm for our president across the state, from north to south and east to west, is higher, I believe, than it was in 2016. There are people that are Republican or conservative leaning that maybe didn't vote for the president in 2016, and they're coming out and saying, hey, after what I've seen the president do, the positive impact he's made on our country, he is going to have my vote in 2020.
Well, Chair Carnahan and Congressman Hagedorn, thank you both so much for coming in. It's great to see you looking so well. Obviously, I think a lot of people pulling for your health as well, and we'll be following your campaign.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, time now to go to Micah